Sign conventions for reflection of light by spherical mirrors. Children, in 2D coordinate system, we have a horizontal axis and this axis is called as the x-axis. We have a vertical axis which is called as the y-axis. When x-axis and y-axis are perpendicular to each other, then the intersection is called as the origin. On the left hand side of the origin, we have negative numbers. On the right hand side of the origin, we have the positive numbers. Above the origin, we have positive numbers. Below the origin, on the y-axis, we have negative numbers. Okay, so in coordinate geometry, we have a set of sign conventions and accordingly we plot the points in the respective coordinates. Similarly, we have sign conventions for spherical mirrors as well. So let us see the sign conventions for spherical mirrors. Conventions means a set of rules. And the sign conventions for reflection by spherical mirror is called as the new Cartesian sign convention. So you can see in the image that there is an x-axis. So the mirror is kept on the x-axis. So the x-axis according to the new Cartesian sign convention is the principal axis. So you can see the principal axis is taken as the x-axis of the coordinate system. The mirror is placed on the principal axis. The pole of the mirror lies on the x-axis. That means the pole of the mirror is the origin here in this case. So according to the new Cartesian sign conventions, the pole of the mirror is taken as the origin. The principal axis is taken as the x-axis of the coordinate system. Before moving on to the sign conventions, let us study some important terms. Object distance, image distance, focal length, height of the object and height of the image. Now object distance is the distance of the object from the pole of the mirror. So this is the spherical mirror. AB is the object which is kept in front of the mirror. So if we take the distance from the pole of the mirror to the object, then this distance is called as object distance, which is denoted by small u. This is the image which is formed after reflection of light from the object AB. So here in this case, the image formed is an inverted image. So it is not necessary that the image should be inverted. The image can be erect as well. The image can be formed in front of the mirror. The image can be formed behind the mirror. Okay, whatever. So here in this case, the image is an inverted image. So A dash B dash is the image which is formed by the object AB after reflection of light from the spherical mirror. Now, if we take the distance from the pole of the mirror to the image, then this distance is called as the image distance. Distance from the pole of the mirror to the image is called as the image distance. Image distance is denoted by small v. We already know what is focal length. Focal length is the distance from the pole of the mirror to the principal focus. We denote it as small f. Height of the object means size of the object. So this distance, this AB, if I take the size of the object from the principal axis above in the upward direction from B to A, then this size of the object is called as the height of the object, which is denoted by h1. Similarly, if I take the size of the image from the principal axis to the end point of the image, then that size of the image is called as the height of the image. So in this case, if I take the size of the image from B dash to A dash, it will give me the height of the image, which is denoted by h2. Let us see the sign conventions for reflection by spherical mirror. As I told you, these sign conventions are also called as the new Cartesian sign conventions for reflection by spherical mirror. The first sign convention is the object is always placed on the left side of the mirror. So this x dash is the principal axis of the coordinate system. Mirror, spherical mirror, Mn. Pole of the mirror, this is the origin of the mirror. The object is always placed in front of the mirror, that is on the left hand side of the mirror. Object mirror के सामने होना चाहिए, mirror के पीछे नहीं होना चाहिए, because mirror के पीछे का जो surface होता है वो opaque होता है, तो यहाँ पे पीछे के सरफेस पे रिफ्लेक्शन पॉसिबल नहीं हो सकता है. दैट इज वाई द ऑब्जेक्ट इज ऑलवेज केप्ट इन फ्रंट ऑफ द मिरर. दैट इज द ऑब्जेक्ट इज ऑलवेज प्लेस्ड ऑन द लेफ्ट साइड ऑफ द मिरर. द सेकेंड कन्वेंशन सेज दैट all distances parallel to principal axis are measured from the pole of the mirror. Now, which distances are measured parallel to principal axis? The object distance and the image distance. So, if I want to measure the object distance, see the object distance is parallel to the principal axis. So, this object distance has to be measured from the pole of the mirror to the object. Similarly, image distance is also measured, and that image distance is again parallel to the principal axis. So when we measure image distance, measure the distance from the pole of the mirror to the image. So that will give the image distance. So all distances parallel to principal axis are measured from the pole of the mirror. Similarly, whenever we measure any distances to the right side of the origin, then all those distances towards the right side of the origin are taken as positive. Whatever distances are measured to the left of the origin, that is the pole of the mirror, are taken as negative distances. So the object is always kept on the left hand side of the mirror. That means object distance will always be negative. If the image is formed on the left side of the origin, then image distance will be negative. If image is formed on the right side of the pole or on the right side of the origin, then image distance will be positive, because according to sign convention, whatever distances we measure towards the right of the origin are positive, and whatever distances are measured to the left of the origin are taken as negative. Then fourth convention says that the distances which are perpendicular to and above the principal axis are positive. So which distances are perpendicular to and above the principal axis? You can see the height of the object. The height of the object is above the principal axis. So height of the object, it is above the principal axis. So this size of the object that we will measure, or this distance of the object from B to A, this will be considered as positive. If we want to measure any distances below the principal axis, then the value is taken as negative. For example, in this case, the image is formed below the principal axis. So if I want to measure the size of this image, it will be a negative value. So distances measured perpendicular to and above the principal axis are taken as positive. Distances measured perpendicular to and below the principal axis are taken as negative. Now, if we consider the focal length of concave mirror, this is a concave mirror. So concave mirror will be formed like this from the sphere. So the center of the concave mirror will lie on this side, left hand side. So also the principal focus will lie on this side. So focus, we know that distance from the pole of the mirror to the principal focus is called as a focal length. So since focus lies on the left hand side of the concave mirror, the focal length of concave mirror will be negative. Whereas in case of convex mirror, the focus lies on the right hand side of the pole. That means focal length of convex mirror will be positive. So we'll sum up the sign conventions for reflection by spherical mirror. The sign conventions are as follows. The object is always placed on the left side of the mirror. All distances parallel to principal axis are measured from the pole of the mirror. All distances measured to the right of the origin are taken as positive, while all distances measured to the left of the origin are taken as negative. Fourth, distances measured perpendicular to and above the principal axis are positive. Distances measured perpendicular to and below the principal axis are taken as negative. Focal length of convex mirror is positive. Focal length of concave mirror is negative. This question is asked for 5 marks, where you have to write down the sign conventions for 3 marks and the diagram has to be drawn for 2 marks. The next topic is mirror formula and magnification produced by a spherical mirror. Now before sign conventions, we learned some important terms: V, U, F, H1 and H2, isn't it? What was U? Object distance. V was image distance. F was focal length. Now there is a relationship between object distance U, image distance V and the focal length F of the spherical mirror. And this relationship between the object distance U, image distance V and focal length F of a spherical mirror is called as mirror formula. And the mirror formula is this. That is, 1 upon V plus 1 upon U is equal to 1 upon F. This formula is very important. We are going to use this mirror formula for solving the numericals. Magnification produced by spherical mirrors. Children, we have learned the ray diagrams, and in ray diagrams we have seen that concave mirrors can give all the three sizes of the images. The image in case of concave mirror can be enlarged, it can be diminished, or it can be of the same size as that of the object. So when images are formed by concave mirror, there are three possibilities for the size of the image, isn't it? Relative to the size of the object. The image can be enlarged, it can be diminished, or it can be of the same size of the object. What about convex mirror? In case of convex mirror, the image formed is always diminished when the object is kept in front of the mirror. So, if we want to compare the size of the image with the size of the object, then we have to take the ratios. Which ratios? Ratio of size of the image to the size of the object. The size of the object is denoted by H1 and size of the image is denoted by H2. So, if we take the ratio of height of the image to the height of the object, then this ratio is called as magnification, which is denoted by capital M. So, capital M is equal to ratio of height of image to the height of the object. That is, M is equal to H2 upon H1. If height of image is greater than height of the object, then obviously the image will be enlarged. If height of image is less than the height of the object, then the image will be diminished. And if the height of the image is equal to the height of the object, then the image formed is of the same size as that of the object. Also, there is a relationship between magnification produced by a spherical mirror, the object distance U and the image distance V, which is given by the formula M is equal to minus V upon U. So, magnification we already know it is equal to H2 upon H1, and magnification is also equal to the negative value of the image distance upon the positive value of the object distance. So we get M is equal to H2 upon H1 is equal to minus V upon U. We are going to use these two important formulas, 1 upon V plus 1 upon U is equal to 1 upon F, and M is equal to H2 upon H1 is equal to minus V upon U while solving numericals. Uses of spherical mirrors. We begin with the uses of concave mirrors. Concave mirrors are used in torches. In torches, you will find that a bulb or a source of light is kept at the focus of the concave mirror. So, when rays of light start from the bulb, they get reflected. And after reflection, you can see that they are traveling over a huge distance in the form of parallel beams of light, and that is why in torches the source of light is kept at the focus of the concave mirror so that the rays of light will travel parallel over large distances after reflection of light takes place. Concave mirrors are used in the headlight of cars. In the headlight of cars, just like the torches, a source of light is kept at the focus of the concave mirror. So here you can see this is the source of bulb. Here when this source of bulb will emit light, the rays of light will fall on this concave reflector. The rays of light will get reflected, and what will happen? The rays of light will travel in a parallel direction, thereby covering a larger area or thereby covering huge distances. So the driver can very clearly see whatever things are there on the road even in the dark. Concave mirrors are used in floodlights. In floodlights, the source of light is kept just beyond the center of curvature of the concave mirror. So, this gives out a bright beam of light after reflection. It is used in projector lamps where the source of light is kept at the center of curvature of the concave mirror. Concave mirrors are used in solar cooker. When sun rays fall on the concave reflector, then all these rays of light, you can see these are the rays of light which are starting from the sun and they are falling on the concave reflector. After reflection, all these rays of light are converging at one point. So, due to the convergence of rays of light, what happens is the intensity of sun rays increases at this point. So, at this focal point, the food that has to be cooked is kept, and since the intensity of light is very, very high, food gets cooked very, very easily. Concave mirrors are also used in solar furnaces. Solar furnace is a device which uses an array of mirrors. An array means it is a collection of mirrors. So if you can see in the image, this is a huge solar furnace, and this huge solar furnace contains a number of concave mirrors. So solar furnace makes use of an array of concave mirrors. In this case, the concave mirrors gather huge amount of sunlight and concentrate the light at a focal point. So what happens is that a lot of heat energy is produced at that point, and then this concentrated heat energy is used for generating electricity or even melting of metals. The temperature that the solar furnace can produce is as high as 3500 degrees Celsius. A concave mirror is used as a shaving mirror. See, whenever we use a concave mirror, we get an enlarged image of the object, and also the image is virtual and erect. In that case, the object is kept between the pole and the principal focus of the mirror. So when an object is kept between the pole and principal focus of a concave mirror, an enlarged image which is virtual and erect is obtained. So also, when the face is kept within the principal focus of a concave mirror, you can see an enlarged view of the face is obtained. So, the minute hairs on the beard can be seen very clearly. Similarly, concave mirror is also used by a dentist. Dentists use concave mirror so that they can have a better view of the mouth. Concave mirror produces erect image, virtual image and magnified image of the object which is placed between the pole and the focus of the mirror. So, a dentist uses this principle of concave mirror to get a clear and distinct image of the teeth. Uses of convex mirror. Convex mirror is used as a rear view mirror by the driver. You must have seen the mirrors which are attached to the sides of the vehicles. The driver uses this rear view mirror to get a very clear view of the vehicles that are coming from behind. So this mirror, which is a side view mirror, is nothing but a convex mirror. A convex mirror always gives virtual and diminished images of the object. So with the help of the convex mirror, the driver is able to get a very clear view of the road, and this enables the driver from getting into any sorts of accidents. Convex mirrors are also used as security mirrors in store because they show a wide range of view with their smaller virtual image. Also, large offices, building premises, hospitals make use of convex mirror to let the people see around the corner so that they can avoid running into each other and thereby preventing any kind of collisions. Also, you will find a convex mirror in the ATMs, and that is for security purposes, so that the bank customer can check if someone is standing behind him. Now that we have studied about concave and convex mirrors, we can write down the distinguishing points between both of them. In concave mirror, the concave surface or the inner surface is the reflecting surface. In convex mirror, the convex surface or the bulging surface or the outer surface is the reflecting surface. Concave mirror can form real as well as virtual images, but convex mirror can give us only virtual images. Concave mirror can form magnified image or diminished image or same sized image. Convex mirror can form only diminished images. In concave mirror, focus is in front of the mirror. In convex mirror, focus is behind the mirror. You can write many more points. Focal length of concave mirror is negative. Focal length of convex mirror is positive.